Assalamu alaikum, grade 6. Your English teacher is here with your Oxford Progressive English lessons. Today we are going to start our third unit of English Oxford. The name of our unit is School Days. So all the chapters in this unit are related to school days. The name of first chapter is The Schoolmaster. This chapter has been written by Charles Dickens. He is a very famous writer and novelist. He has written many novels about school. In this chapter, Charles Dickens explains the personality of a schoolmaster who believes in facts, and he is a worst enemy of imagination. So come towards a summary of this chapter on the board. Unit 3 School Days, Chapter 1 The Schoolmaster. Summary. This chapter highlights the educational ideas of a schoolmaster that are based on facts. He is an enemy of imagination. He teaches his students to live in the world of reality by getting focused on what is real. Students, the full chapter reading will be given and understood in online lecture. Now move towards the words meanings of this chapter. Number 1, cannon, a big gun. Number 2, pupils, students. Number 3, sternly, harshly. Number 4, lustrous, reflecting light. Number 5, unwholesome, dangerous. Number 6, blush, it means turn red. Students, now we are going to study reading for detail of this chapter at page number 50. So open your notebooks and start to write question answers. Reading for detail. Question number 1. Why did the writer describe Mr. Gradgrind as a cannon? Answer. Because he was forceful and spoke harshly. Question number 2. Mr. Gradgrind and Sissy. Mr. Gradgrind calls Sissy girl number 20. What does this tell you about his ideas about education? Answer. Mr. Gradgrind calls Sissy girl number 20. This is a fact and his ideas about education are based on facts. Question number 3. What do you think Mr. Gradgrind think of Sissy's father's profession? Answer. Mr. Gradgrind assumes an ironic tone to show that he does not believe in her father's profession. Question number 4. How do Bitzer and Sissy differ in appearance? Answer. Sissy is dark-haired and dark-eyed, while Bitzer is light-haired and light-eyed. Question number 5. How do the responses of Sissy and Bitzer to Mr. Gradgrind's question differ? Answer. Sissy blushed and couldn't utter a word, while Bitzer was confident and he poured out facts. So students, you will write these question answers in your notebooks and learn them. That was over for 1 week's work. Allah Hafiz. Students, now we are going to start our next topic of English grammar, that is tenses. In the previous video, we have completed our present simple tense. In this video, we are going to study past simple tense. It is also called past indefinite tense. As we have discussed 3 types of tense, present, past and future. We have discussed the first type, present simple tense. Now we are moving towards our second type, past simple tense. So let's start to study past simple tense. It is used to express an action that happened or completed in past and is over now. So it is the expression of an action, a verb that happened or completed in past. An action that has been completed in past, in the previous time. The action that has been completed in the time that has passed and the action is over now. No part of the action is remained to be completed. It is fully completed action in the past time. So it is past simple tense. For example, he worked in Dubai last year. This sentence shows that he worked in Dubai last year. He worked in last year. His work has been completed and no part of his work has been remained. So it has been completed in the past, in the last year. So it is past simple tense. Past simple tense is also used to express a past habit. A habit that was in the past. For example, he exercised every day. It shows the habit of the pronoun he, which was found in the past and was completed in past every day. He exercised. His habit was completed in the past, so it is past simple tense. Students, now we are going to discuss the rules of past simple tense. Our rule number 1 is second form of verb or past simple is used as main verb in the positive sentences. So second form is used only in positive sentences. Rule number 2 is base form or first form of verb, that is identified with V1, is used in negative and interrogative sentences. So in positive sentences we will use positive second form, and in negative and interrogative sentences we shall use first form of verb. Rule number 3 is did is used as an auxiliary verb or helping verb only in negative and interrogative sentences. So in negative and interrogative sentences we will use the helping verb did. There will be no helping verb in positive sentences. There will be only second form of verb in the positive sentences. But in negative and interrogative sentences we will use first form of verb along with the helping verb did. So friends, by keeping in mind the above discussed rules, now we are going to discuss the structure of sentences. In positive sentences, our structure will be subject, we do, second form of verb, or past simple, and then object. Examples are I killed a snake. I have mentioned subject and second form of verb and object on the sentences. You can see subject is I, as I have mentioned, as killed. Killed is V2, second form of verb according to our structure and our formula. And our next is object. Snake is object. I killed a snake. Our second example is he ate a mango. In this sentence, he is a subject, ate is V2, second form of verb, and mango is object. So friends, you will make 10 more examples of past simple positive sentences like these in your neat work homeworks. Now we are going to discuss negative sentences. In negative sentences we shall use subject plus did, that is helping verb, as we have discussed in the rules. Did and then not, then first form of verb and then object. Its examples are I did not kill a snake. Students, as we have discussed that we shall use first form of verb in negative sentences. So I have used first form of verb here. You can see I is subject and did is helping verb according to our rules. Not I have been used as it is negative sentence, and kill is our first form of verb and snake is object. Second example is he did not eat a mango. In this sentence he is a subject, did is helping verb, not has been used because it is negative sentence, eat is first form of verb and mango is object. In interrogative sentences we shall use helping verb first of all, did, and then subject, then first form of verb, then object, and in the last question mark. Our examples are did I kill a snake? According to the formula, helping verb did is helping verb, and then subject is I, first form of verb is kill, and snake is object. Did I kill a snake? Second example is did he eat a mango? Did is helping verb, he is subject, eat is first form of verb, and mango is object, and in the last we have used question mark. So students, by keeping in your mind the rules that we have discussed about past simple tense and the definition and identification of past simple tense, you will keep these things in your minds and you will make 10 positive sentences, 10 negative sentences and 10 interrogative sentences in your neat notebooks as homework. So friends, we have completed our task of this week. This is your 1 week's task. You will practice tense, past simple tense, learn the story and learn the definitions and forms of verb. Allah Hafiz.